Okay, here we go. Beard in the boat. This is episode 8. That's what I put in the title.
Episode, are you sure it's 8 or 7?
I think it's 8.
It might be 9. I think we did
Could
one
be.
before we named it.
I guess, yeah, we should start keeping track of that.
We'll just go with 8. It's fine.
I think it's 8. I think it's 8. Yeah.
8 it is. Good.
So
Good enough.
Nighttime broadcast. And so
Our lights work better.
yeah.
They show up.
Lights
It's not
look better.
nighttime here. It's still daylight on the West Coast.
Oh, so your blue isn't quite there?
No, it's not as blue as it could get.
Yeah, it's full. Yeah. We're
I don't
late.
have Pavos. I got to buy some Pavos. Did you buy the 3-pack or the 4-pack or the 2-pack?
I just bought 2 individual ones. There wasn't a pack.
Oh, they come in like packs. You can buy 3 and 4
I know,
packs.
like the tubes, like the bags they come in can fit 3 lights in them.
What watts are yours? Because I noticed they have different wattages.
I'm not sure which ones I got.
That's not
I don't
helpful.
know. Yeah, I can look.
That doesn't help anybody.
I can look at my receipt and see what I
Put
did.
your social up.
I will find out. I will find out.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, talking about the Palo tubes, Kareem just released that job that we talked about. Was it last week that we talked about how we did the Palo tubes kind of last minute?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks
That's the
like
one you were telling me about that's doing really good?
no, this is a different one. But it's so I looked like it's 6 of the orders tonight, and I think like half of them had Palo tube orders. So they're selling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
they're selling.
I got Quancy's. I got the
Oh yeah. Tell me about
mods
that.
in. I didn't use them yet. I didn't have time to set them all up. I got them like the day before my shoot, and I didn't test them. You got to test them.
What?
I mean, I don't know.
You've already tested them.
I did, but I didn't even get my the soft
you have the
boxes
right
aren't
soft-
even
do you have-
opened. So I haven't even checked. So I was gonna show up ready to go, and then I haven't even unboxed my soft boxes, so I don't even know if they fit. So yeah, you have to test your stuff no matter what. And these are the 3x4s. What did we have at the boot camp?
I can't even remember.
They were smaller because they were.
Yeah.
These ones are quite a bit bigger, and I know how big 3x4 is, but I didn't put it together until I opened it and was holding it, and I was like, "Oh my god, these are huge!" So I'm excited about that. I'm glad they're bigger. They look like stadium lights no matter what I do. I could put them up. I was thinking a guy could put them up way in the back of a gym and have no backdrop and then just pretend they're backlights, in a gymnasium, in a stadium type situation. I don't know. There's lots of things I want to do with them. I'm excited about them.
Yeah, I have 3x4s coming. I have 4 of them coming.
4?
So, yeah.
Jeez. Oh yeah, you have to have 2 stations probably.
Yeah, I have to have 2 stations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I want to see what it looks like for a team shot too, though.
I think 4 looks sick. Yeah. I ordered the 1x3s, but unfortunately, so I had the 3x4s coming and then the 1x3s because I wanted to put those at like an angle above the 3x4 boxes and then angle a couple, whichever way that looked cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, but apparently those didn't turn out.
Well, I mean, the thing is let's see, it's April 25th, so we're kind of wrapping it up here. Like we start early. We started, in January shooting baseball.
It hasn't even quit raining here. Like we haven't even hardly started baseball yet.
Yeah.
Like kids are like a week into it, 2 weeks tops.
I have a baseball league this weekend. It goes a rain out, and then I go to South Georgia where they actually start a little later, which is crazy because it's a lot warmer down there. It's 4 hours south. And that's the only baseball I think I have left. Then we can start going to all-star season.
Soccer, Nashville.
Yep, we got some big soccer leagues coming. But
your national one's huge, huh?
National is huge. This past weekend was ridiculous. We had so many big leagues. We had a league that we got that we hadn't shot for 3 years. We shot for, 10 years. And we lost them in 2020, of course. 2021, they opted out as well. And so, so it's 2019 the last time we shot them. And I was thinking it was going to be really busy, I was like, it's going to be busy because they hadn't got photos in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Right. And we shot last year. We did like a appointment only, and we did well. People were receptive to it. So anyway, participation was terrible. It was terrible. The worst of the year. We had one like a Pinto League, which is like 9-10 maybe, or 8-9, something like that. And like 12 of the 18 teams didn't show. They said,
Weird.
yeah, we're not. And they were practicing right beside us. It's like, you cannot tell me, coach, that every one of your players' parents don't want photos.
Right.
You sold it that way. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? You sold it that way. And it's like, I just hate it because it just gets on my nerves. It's a really high-end, neighborhood area. But it's like a couple of things that kind of, we shot a lot this week. Even yesterday, it kind of ties into the same thing. I had 2 stories. I had this bad participating league. Then I got this coach yesterday. And I got Kathleen Martin. So I'm saying all those things, so don't forget. Okay. All right. Kathleen Martin is a boat ride boot camper out of Charlotte. So anyways, so bad participation. I'm pissed. Like, I get pissed when one team doesn't show up for that age group, much less, all of them. Like, something must be, like, the coaches must be, on a group chat saying we're not doing photos.
Well, 12 out of 18 that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. Yes, that's a lot. If you figure that you maybe make $250 per team in sales, let's just say, that's a lot. That's almost three grand. You're out.
With gas prices, that's about what you would have. you need that to cover.
I mean, it's crazy. So, and anyway, yesterday I was taking photos of this league, and the little boy was probably 11 years old, and kind of my spiel with, when they come up, the team comes up, it's like, all right, guys, show them the poses, and coaches, if you want to take a photo with your athlete, please do. Just, when your athlete's standing there, just make sure you slide in before they walk away. There's a pain on the ass. If they walk away, slide in before you walk away. I'll take the photo with them. And this little boy, all the coaches took photos with their son. This one little boy's like, Dad, come over. He's standing there. Come take a picture with me. And he's like, nah, you're all right. We're good. Come on. And they were walking away. He's like, Dad, you don't want to take a picture with me? And he's like, nah, you were fine. And I'm just like, that's so terrible. I mean, Creighton's right there. You get, if my son in Baton Rouge, which is 8 hours from here, called me, he's like, Dad, I want to take a picture with you at LSU in front of the Tiger. My ass, if I didn't have I would drive down there to do it, just to take a picture with him.
Right. You know 8 hours away.
Yes.
Let alone just standing there ready to go.
Stand there, just take a picture. And your son is begging you to take a photo with him, and you're not going to that's so short-sighted to me. Like, that guy must, that must be just, he has no older children, because I mean, that just is crazy to me. And then, you flip things around, like Kathleen Martin posted a photo on one of the Facebook groups of a track team, and it was like 5 or 6 kids. And they were all like, she's like, I hardly even had to pose them. They were just a good group, and they just wanted to take the photo together. And they had this really cool experience, and the photo was beautiful. And it's like, okay, that's kind of what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's like, we have to create like this, there's some pageantry to it. It's like Augusta National has the golf tournament has a bunch of like stupid traditions, but it's still meaningful because they do it every year, and it, has some meaning behind it. And it's the same thing with coaches. Like, it's like, your kids aren't going to play baseball forever, and picture day and taking a team photo, it's like part of the experience, and I feel like if you are, if you're downplaying it, it doesn't make it as special. It's like everything's just no big deal. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just part of it. You could take the team photo, and with Kathleen, with that group 6 photo, I'm not knocking on you or green screen people, but they would never have the same experience if they were doing green screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't feel the same. It wouldn't have the same feeling. She could, take some photos and then composite them together as a green screen, and it would look great. But those kids will always remember that photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? They're always going to remember that photo shoot, the time they came and they took that picture, and that's going to be a fond memory. And, that's the whole reason why we're doing this, is we're creating some memories. It's really cheesy. I'm drinking tequila. But But you know what I'm saying, though.
I have to. I gotta stop you though. Like, so I shoot with a big enough green screen though that I get a group. Okay, so I shot first time ever. I shot jump rope this weekend, and we had a group of 6 kids. We crammed them in there, right on it. Got them in it. Actually, I didn't shoot green. I shot on black, but we still got them all in there. I still cut them out. Still put them on the composite, and they loved it. I know they did. You know, they haven't bought it yet, but they loved it.
But wait, that's still a group photo. I'm talking about a group photo where everybody just individual comes in whatever they want.
Yeah,
like you all day, come in whenever, or you slot at time and you take a photo by yourself.
I've never done that where I put 2 people, like, or a brother and sister. I haven't ever put them in. I always make them just take the shot. I bet some people do though. I bet some people do composite them together for them. But yeah, that wouldn't be the same.
Like baseball and football teams, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you composite it in, it's not the same thing. It's like you getting a group of your players together, and this is what we do. We take a team photo together. And there's going to be a kid that's going to look stupid, you know? I mean, but that's them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the personality of the team. When you look back on that photo, like, he's still dumb now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, I just feel like that's like part of the whole thing. And I hate when, and it's not like, okay, fine, coach, you don't want to do that with your player, but you don't know what all those other parents are going to say. And, maybe they want a photo, but at least give us a chance. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, at least walk them down there. We're here. We have all this gear. We all of these employees here. We agreed to do this for the league. At least give us the opportunity. It doesn't cost you a penny.
Right. You don't have to buy it anymore. That's not how we work. Yeah.
Right. It's no prepaid. Just go ahead and take it. Why not encourage them to do it?
Right.
So I was just surprised. I was really surprised that I thought after COVID, that league, like in particular, they were still talking. I know you're from Oregon. They're still talking about COVID, and like where we're at, nobody talks about COVID anymore. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It just felt weird. The whole day felt weird. But we just have to grow back up. Hopefully next year it'll go better. I got to post some photos showing what happened, and maybe it'll go better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got All-Star stuff coming up though. That should be better no matter what. All-Star team is good. Yeah.
All-Stars will be good.
But you don't have giant leagues for All-Star stuff, right? You still you kind of chase teams when it comes to All-Star time, right?
No, we have we try to do All-Star Day.
Really?
Yeah, I'd push that. I mean, just tonight, we were at a little softball park, and we showed up, and the president's like comes in. He's like, "Hey, I'm the president." I hadn't met him before, so he was with his wife and his daughter, and he loved our setup, and our set, just looked nice. And he's like, "We appreciate you guys being out here," or whatever. And so we get that, and then the wife is like, "Well, do y'all do All-Stars?" I'm like, "Yeah, we do All-Stars." And it's like, "How many teams you got?" We got 3. It's not a lot, but they're 30 minutes away. But you can get about $1,000 out of those All-Star teams. You do a banner, you do a mini banner, you do portraits. And it was just like, all right, well, let's just set up an All-Star Day where we'll come and do them all at one time. And that way, give them a few little incentives for a free sponsor banner or whatever. And so we try to encourage our big leagues to do that, because the big leagues will have, 15 All-Star teams.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. If you get banners with them too, because our banners are awesome. And then we scale it down the mini banner, they're pretty cool. So it's definitely worth doing. So if you have a league that's going to have a lot of All-Star teams, you want to create another picture day. Just act like it's normal.
Yeah.
What about, do you have a lot of All-Stars over there?
So we have in my whole county total, I think we have 6 All-Star teams total.
Really? What age group?
That's from minors, majors, Babe Ruth. So you'll have 2, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I might be lying. We might only have 4 total in the whole county.
How can that be possible? What I know, but
they take 14 kids in that age group from all the teams. So okay, our rec teams don't do it, right? But the minors teams, I'm sponsoring one of those teams this year, and I think there's only 8 minors and 7 majors teams. So that 8 to 10-year-olds, there's like 7, 8 teams. 10 to 12-year-olds, there's like 6 teams, I think.
Who
And
do
then
they play against?
each other. They just play each other all year. And then they'll go to tournaments sometimes. But yeah, they just play each other like 4 times.
They don't play other parks and other counties or anything?
Not really. I mean, sometimes, like if you know coaches outside the area, they will. But yeah, it's just not as big. There's not as many people. It's
What
crazy.
sport would you say is most participation?
Soccer.
Mm.
Isn't that crazy? I
Yeah,
know.
that's terrible. That's terrible. So
There's
it's
more
like the
soccer
worst-
players per capita, I think, than anything else.
And then that's like the worst performing sport typically.
I don't know. They take their soccer serious out here. I mean, it's not European serious, but it's pretty serious.
Well, that's a big thing here. Like the soccer league here, we had our big soccer league. We only have 2. Well, we have 3 soccer leagues, 2 really big ones. And the one here locally is just it's okay. We had it for a long time. But the one in Nashville that we shoot, I mean, they like really take it serious. Like it's one of our strongest leagues in soccer. So who knows? I guess and usually, yeah, the one soccer league in South Florida we did was good. And then we did one or South Georgia. Then we did one in Florida. It was terrible. You still never know?
I mean, I think it depends on where it's at and how long it's been cultivated. Soccer's been a big deal around here since I could remember too. I mean, I remember playing in the rec league when I was little, but I didn't take it as serious. I wanted to play baseball. So baseball was my thing as I got older and was able to play that. But yeah, so here's the thing. So next week we shoot a lot of rec softball, but there's no tournament stuff after that. I mean, we got 17 teams down south. And then we have like, I can't remember. I think 14 across the river to do. So, and then that's just in the rec. And then the older teams, there's like another 8 or 9. So yeah, we have like next week, we have like 27 teams down south total to shoot.
Yeah.
And we're going to knock those out in 2 days because it's just the 2 of us. So we separate that a little bit. We don't have we don't do the 2 lines and all that stuff like you do yet, but we're capable if we had to. I just got Emily shooting some of that jump rope this weekend. I'd never shot jump rope, so it wasn't like I could screw that up, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we just had her jump in. We were there for 4 hours just shooting at a tournament, a jump rope. It was
that sounds like fun.
It was fun. It was kind of fun. It was something different. There's things I want to do different if we go back next year, but we'll see how the participation is.
What is so the tournaments, are they big? The baseball tournaments?
We don't have any big ones. No, I mean, they have like
those tournament guys here. There used to be one company that specialized in tournaments. Dude, those guys, they made over 6 figures a weekend.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Insane.
There's Action Sports Photography up out Northwest Action Sports. They do like all the softball and baseball tournaments on the weekends. They've kind of already got that all locked. They used to shoot school stuff, but you don't see much of them at the schools anymore.
No, I'm talking about the guys who put on the tournaments.
Oh,
not the photographers.
Not the photographers.
Like the guys that actually, because they're getting, gate fees, and they're charging parents, $8-10 a day.
Right.
And they just they'll have like 100 teams in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But that guy, they were so dominant that people started copying him. Now it's saturated. You know what I mean? Like nobody's making that kind of money anymore. But there's a few years there where those dudes were just raking it in, and we were doing all the action photography for those tournaments. And so our summers were pretty brutal. It was hot, June, July.
That's hard work, action photography, in that end. It's so hard.
It was
because you had to be ready to sell stuff like right after the game, right? Like you had to have it uploaded on kiosks.
Yep.
Under a tent.
Kiosk. Yep.
Did you print on site too?
Yes.
Oh man. How did was there software that managed that for you? How did you
Oh
do
my
that?
gosh, I never tell you. Like we used an application called, there was the only 2, there was like 5-minute photo or something like that. And there was Photo Parada. And Photo Parada was the one that everybody kind of used for event photography. And it was great, but it was PC based, And so it was like you carried around these big, heavy laptops everywhere, and literally we just would buy laptops wherever we could, $300 or $400 laptops because they were just viewing stations. So we had laptops, mouses. So, I mean, the cords alone was it was incredible. And so I was like, we've got to start using iPads. This is just crazy. I want tablets. I don't want to carry, 100 pounds worth of laptops and gear everywhere. So anyway, I looked for years and I finally found a developer here locally, and he created, we call it, it was called Photability. And so I think he did it on HTML5 or something. I don't know. But anyway, I helped him. He designed a program for us. And so it was just mine. And I had, we were able to have iPads. So I bought a bunch of iPads. And so now I had a little Pelican case that I carried around, and we were able to have, so the parents, we take the action photos and the parents would come over and they'd select their images. And then we got down to the point where we're just printing posters, 17 by 22 posters from an Epson printer, and then we were selling digital files as well. So it was like a package deal. Like most people would get 10 digitals in a poster, and it was, I don't know, $79, $89, something like that. And that was kind of our typical sale. But yeah, it was brutal though. I mean, it was hard work. It was brutal, just brutal. It was
every game, having to shoot every single game all weekend.
Yeah. But we
four field complexes.
Yeah, and we only shot though the kid pitch or the coach pitch. We were not doing kid pitch.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, no way. Mm-mm. Be there all day and get no good photos. Yeah,
because nobody'd ever swing the bat. It was a walk-a-thon. Yeah,
right. Welcome, 9-year-old kid pitch is the most boring thing you've ever seen.
Listen, my girls played tournament softball.
Karina, what did you do? Call me trash?
The trash goes out.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Karina, tell me I have to take the trash out.
You are mortal.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, we played tournament softball, and the girls had to learn how to underhand fast pitch. And for a couple of years, you want to talk about struggling. Whew. We were playing 10U tournaments, and they were 8 years old. And so we were just getting wiped, and we couldn't strike anybody out. They'd barely swing the bats. It just walk 10 runs in, and next inning, walk 10 runs.
Oh my God. That'd be so brutal.
It was brutal for a couple of years, but then they found their stride and they got really good. Like as a team, they played together for many years, and we ended up winning state one year. So that was fun.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
So it went from like the bottom of the barrel to the best, and it was a hard process. Whoa.
Yeah.
But it really worked out, and it was fun. It was so much more rewarding to win because we sucked so bad for so long. So it was fun.
Huh. That's so funny because that was the topic of discussion with my kids this weekend was delayed gratification.
Oh yeah. Right? It's a rough thing to learn. Ooh, right? It's rough. Yeah.
Right. But the thing is though, is if you do it, the win is so much better. Right.
It is. You don't know that until you've suffered immensely.
Yeah. So then you get it. But I mean, I think it kind of correlates to what we do because this game is you have to have a lot of patience because if you don't get a contract, you have to wait a year. And then if your other photographer ties them up for 2 or 3 years, you could wait for 4 years.
I waited 11 to get my alma mater.
Yeah.
To get the school that I went to. I waited 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But once you get it, then you're so happy.
Right. Careful what you wish for sometimes. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. No, we're super happy to have it.
Yeah, the delayed gratification is a big thing that we have to learn, even especially as entrepreneurs, right? You have to put the work in. Hopefully, I mean that's the whole thing with the action photography is that it was just so brutal. I mean, it was just brutal. I mean, we enjoyed it, but it was woo. Once we got to the point where we didn't have to do it, it's not like we're clamoring to go back.
You weren't like we got to figure out how to make a comeback. You're just done.
No, we're just done. I still have my 300 millimeter 2.8 Nikon sitting there. Man, that was beautiful. Just beautiful photos.
Yeah.
I guess I need to sell it.
Time to sell it. When's the last time you picked up a Nikon? Well, it's a DSLR mount anyway. It's probably not worth anything anymore.
Yeah. I have a buddy that does horse shows. I need to sell it to him.
Yeah, if he's still shooting with the old school version.
He's shooting with Nikon D5, I think.
I had this conversation last week. I went to shoot the local track meet because all the schools were there, and I haven't been shooting with my 150 to 600 Sigma for my mirrorless. I haven't shot with it at all since I bought it. So I just said, okay, I'm going to go shoot with it. And I went and shot, and it was good. It was fun. I was really having a good time messing with autofocus settings and really kind of learning that gear a little more and finding some new tricks that I'm excited to use. But I got in this conversation with the newspaper photographer. She was there, and she's shooting on a Nikon D300 still. And
that's the camera I started with.
God, and it was beat up and rugged, and unfortunately they don't make a lot of money, and they would have to buy their own gear, but this is the paper's gear. Apparently the paper doesn't make enough money to buy new gear. But I told her, I said, man, you've got to switch to mirrorless. You have to do it. I don't know why you're still living in the Stone Age. Right. She goes, that's not the Stone Age. I prefer the analog, da, da, da. And I said, don't talk to me like that. Only people who don't have a mirrorless camera still say that.
Yeah. Same
she didn't like that. Yeah, she didn't like that. But like we were shooting runners, and shooting runners coming down the stretch, and my Sony's just bam, bam, bam. Every shot is a keeper, and it's following the runner as it's coming towards me at an angle. She was shooting the same shot. I don't think she got one in focus. And I'm like, every single one I just shot was in focus at 30 frames a second.
Yeah, she's I think she's 4 to 6 frames.
Or 6, maybe.
Yeah. I think 6 with the battery grip, 4
and she didn't have the battery grip. So she's shooting 4 frames
a second.
And then telling me how it works for her. I'm like, it doesn't work for you.
Did you convince her at the end?
No, nope. She's like, I don't want to have to go cull through all those pictures. I said, it's so fast because you just pick one and you know that you got it before you even got home. You just roam through that series and just pick your favorite one. You're done.
Were you like, so you don't want to cull through all these in focus photos?
Right? How many times do you zoom in to check to make sure? Yeah. Nope, missed it. Zoom in. Yeah. Nope, missed it. No.
She doesn't even call her. She just picks the ones that are in focus, and it's only one every so often.
Right.
Oh, that is funny.
I remember those days, and it's a bummer. It's a bummer.
No, it would drive you crazy. Like I haven't, but I would like to shoot. I would love to have an R3 for a weekend, a Canon R3 in a 300 millimeter lens.
Yeah.
It goes shoot some baseball. I would love it. But let me tell you something. There's no age group I'd rather shoot than 7 or 8 year old coach pitch baseball. It is so exciting. It's just because everybody hits, everybody runs, all the kids can play defense on the all-star level. You know what I mean? I would just see some awesome games. They last, and the thing is, it was like a numbers game, right? Because those games would last 45 minutes and they're done. And there were 6 innings, and everybody hit. Everybody, got a chance in the field. It was just, and the plays, the shortstops in the infield, they just made amazing plays that kids could catch in the outfield. Like it was a great, and the field's small enough to where 300 millimeters can basically reach everywhere. Any position. Yeah, I mean the batters you're shooting half body, but that still looks cool. The shortstop and third baseman, you're getting just perfect, and it was just so much fun. But if you just did a numbers game, if you had diamond, right? You have 4 games going on at one time. That's 8 teams. And if you said there's 11 kids per team, right? That's 88 potential customers you have per hour. If you have 2 photographers covering, like you shoot 3 innings, 1 game, shoot, and then go over to the next field and shoot 3 innings. You know what I mean? And both guys are doing that. You have 88 potential customers, right? Well, if you shoot kid pitch, those numbers, first of all, the game's going to last for an hour 45 instead of 45 minutes, right? And then you're only getting a few kids because sometimes those games only last for 3 innings because of the walking. You know what I mean?
God, I never thought of it like that. But you're even so business oriented to the fact that you don't even want to shoot the longer game because you get more turnover. You're like a restaurant flipping tables as fast as you can.
It's a turnover thing. Like you have like double or 2.5 times the amount of potential customers by shooting those kid or coach pitch. So we didn't even mess with the kid pitch. Why would you do that? Like it's not
Right.
There, you just the numbers. It is like you have by the time you say the time of the game, and also if you account for like how many kids are actually participating in the game, you have 5 times more customers with the coach pitch than you will with the kid pitch. So
Crazy.
Yeah. So the kid pitch, you have to charge a minimum. You got to shoot the whole team and charge them it's $350. And that's it. Because I'm not going to
shoot because I care. I just shoot different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're just going to do that. If you sit in July in Georgia and it's 105 degrees on that field,
you're there for the money, not because you care.
Yeah, you are. But it was a lot of fun. Like I knew like so much about Little League, the little guys baseball. I knew all the good teams and, watched them grow up and all that. So a lot of those kids that I was shooting are now seniors now, so I got to shoot them when they were young. So I missed that part of it, but the 103 degrees, 105 degrees in the dirt for 12 hours, I don't miss that.
Yeah. It's pretty miserable.
Yeah. I'd go shoot a couple games, but man, we'd literally shoot 12 games in a day, one person. So I would shoot 12, Scott would shoot 12. So we would cover the whole tournament.
Yeah. T&I is a lot better. You get a lot more customers quicker.
Yes. And we bust our ass. I mean, we bust our ass for 3,000 in a day. And we're like, man, that's a good day.
God, that's a lot of people. It's a lot of teams.
Yeah, I mean, $3,000 a day was good. I mean, at the time, we really needed the money, So there was my poor kids spent all their summers at baseball parks,
and weren't even playing.
That sucks. Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. So now, but now you get to the point where we don't have to do it, and. But I'm thankful that because there was no Facebook groups back then, right? There was nothing like this going on. So there was no photo day offering education and how to get customers and all the whole thing, there was none of that. So that was a great way to get customers. I mean, how the hell else are we going to do it?
Right.
That was, that's,
I still think we do stuff like that. I do stuff like that still to this day. I'll go shoot stuff just to make sure people remember who I am. But yeah, with stuff like photo day, it changed our lives exponentially as far as how we sell and how we offer our stuff to our clients. It really did. I tried SmugMug years and years ago, 10 years ago, mm-hmm. And it just wasn't it. It just wasn't it. And mm-hmm. I mean, they didn't have it dialed for us for my business model. It just wasn't a good piece. Now I know some people probably still use it, but I would never go that route. Proof. Yeah. I would never go that route for sports and for public galleries and schools. I would never do that. Never.
Yeah. There's Kelby talked me into doing the whole SmugMug website, all that sort of stuff.
I think that's probably why I did it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at Kelby one and going that route. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how influential people on the internet can be, especially when they don't necessarily know your business.
Right.
We had, there was a guy asking questions on one of the groups, I think yesterday or the day before. And I couldn't really answer him because I didn't know where he's at in his business. And I didn't want to give him bad information and send him down a trail that wasn't necessarily meant for him. But it was about how to shoot schools and how to use the FaceFind app and how to use Photo Day and all that stuff. I could teach people that, but I can't just tell it to you on, when you ask it one question on a sports page or on a volume page. I can't just give you all the details because I really don't know where you're at in your place of business and what kind of tools you already have at your disposal.
Right.
I will say, that Photo Day and schools for us has made it possible that we can do it with a smaller crew and it works well for us, but it might not necessarily work well for everybody else. You just got to use it as a tool, and everybody's got excuses and reasons why they use one tool or the other.
Right.
It's why you're shooting Canons, I'm shooting Sonys, we both have our reasons, but Photo Day makes it easy to sell, I think, no matter who you are, but it won't do the work for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I mean, there's still so much to it. There's still a process to it. It's not like everybody wants the simple, clean answer, and there's just no simple, clean answer. Like there's a lot to it, and we have our Boat Ride Boot Camp page, and people go to the boot camp and they learn so much, but then they have to practice it for a year, 2 years, and for things to kind of set in and continually, go back to the group, ask questions, and you know what I mean? So it's a process, and it's not going to happen overnight, Photo Day and all these Facebook groups and the trainings really speed up. They shorten the learning curve, but there's still the business side that you have to do. There's not really many shortcuts to that.
No, you're going to take your lumps no matter what, I think. And I don't know. You can't run with the big dogs until you've kind of cut your teeth either. You can't just jump into this and all of a sudden, you're making enough to pay all your bills overnight. That stuff doesn't happen. There's no easy path to anything, right?
Mm-mm.
You got to put time in, and more time in, the better opportunities you're going to have. So,
yeah, I need to talk about something. Karina called me a freaking diva on Facebook.
I saw that. I mean, I agree with her a little bit.
I'll tell you.
Did you see? And you know why? Wasn't it on Rose Coleman's thing? She did a time lapse of, she set everything up herself. And then plus she's there shooting that for how many days. And then she's done and tears it all down. You have how many Alabama girls help you?
Hey, she set up and broke it down one time in several days. First of all,
Jody texted me the other day and said she had to load your camera up for you because your fingers were cold.
That is true. But I loaded but she didn't tell you that I loaded the whole trailer.
No.
So yeah. And the thing is what pissed me off about that? Karina's saying that the day
in
after,
public.
Yeah. The day after we have this shoot and we have to go down this turf field. Thank God they didn't put us in the gym. We did their multi-use field. So they were playing 2 games on the one end of the turf field, which is a football-sized field. And then we get the other half of the field to shoot photos, The only problem is it's the bottom of the park, the very corner of the park. And there's no way to get there except for you walk 120 yards approximately.
Across the football field.
Across the football field where games are being played on and on. Or you go downstairs. And everybody's like, we're going to go downstairs. So I was like, okay, let's do the stairs then. Because the stairs literally drops you right to where you need to be. We pull up the stairs and they were like, well, we didn't know the stairs were going to be that big. There's 40 stairs. There's 40 stairs. I was like, it's too late. No, we got to go. Our first shoot's it was like at 8:00. Then we got to start. So we go down and then the shoot goes literally from 8. I think we were done at 5. It was a long shoot. And plus, we meet at the studio at 5:30 or whatever, it was a long day and it got hot and turf is another 10, 15 degrees, Yeah. And I've got my son he's in great shape. He's 22 years old. And I got another 15-year-old kid who's in good shape, works out all the time. And I had some girls with me they're all in decent shape. Everybody gave out. There wasn't one. Everybody gave out. I was like, all right, y'all just stack up this stuff at the bottom of the steps and I'll carry it up. I'm carrying tents, sandbags, everything. Just 40 steps because I went up so many times I counted them. Okay. The first flight was 8. The second 2 were 11. The next 2 were 5 or something like that. I knew exactly how many steps I had to go each one. And then she calls me a diva.
What was that?
That was my dashboard.
That was your dashboard.
Photo day. Yeah.
It wasn't mine.
Yeah. We did 14 PD 100s today.
You're a diva.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a great question though. The size of crew, because you run with just you and Emily.
Yes.
And I ran because before we got to the big T&I deals, we did a lot of all-star teams because we couldn't get the big league yet, but we were like little snipers. We could get the all-star teams because we'd see them, right? and we develop relationships. So we don't get to your whole league yet because the whole league, they're like, oh, you can't handle this many teams, so we're going to go with this company. And so we would just get the all-star teams, which was fine. We still did go with the all-star teams. But we did a lot of that work ourselves where we drove out and we did the banner shoot. It was like 1 or 2 teams. And we did the whole thing with paper order forms too, so you had to take money and we had the banner. I mean, it was a lot of paperwork and I hated it.
I do not miss calling out order number or picture numbers.
Oh, just having an order form and people asking you questions about it. And I'm trying to take photos. I'm like, I don't want to. So that's when I saw I was like, and then our all-star business, like one year we did a ridiculous amount of banners, right? Just crazy amount. That's because that was most of our business. We're just doing so much banner work. And I was like, it's like, Karina, like we've got to get assistance because it's fine. I mean, we can physically do the work, but we're going to be tired. We're going to be miserable and we're going to be grumpy. And we don't want to talk about order forms. We're not going to, because we were doing mostly banners. So we weren't taking a lot of order forms. You know what I mean? I didn't even care if anybody ordered anything. Just let me get this banner done. I don't want to deal with order forms and having the square reader and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, just give me an assistant so they can handle all that stuff. And if it costs $45, back then is $15 an hour is good. If I can pay him $45, like a 3-hour minimum, I'm going to get more orders. I'm going to get 6 or 7 orders. It's going to pay for itself. And then I won't be so tired the next shoot because that was back in the extension cord days, right? Vagabonds are extension cords, Einsteins, and, it was a lot of gear to set up. Yeah. So that's when I started like really experimenting with assistants. And, my thought has always been, if you have assistants, you can make more money at the shoot because
I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, today, the same thing I was telling you about. My Alabama crew was setting up, getting ready for the shoot, and I'm talking to the president of the league, getting all the 3 all-star teams.
Yeah.
So if I get those 3 all-star teams and it ends up being $3,000 in sales, by me having those assistants working for me, I just had a conversation that could potentially make me, $1,500, $2,000.
Yeah.
So that's my thought behind the whole. Now, what like Rose is doing at a school you set up, it's a little different environment. I feel like you're there for a little bit. I don't know because I don't shoot dance, but if she's there for several days, then it might be a little bit different situation. I don't know. But for baseball, I'm always trying to get like the all-star team or the football league I'm always trying to find that person who might be able to get me another job while we're there doing a good job, because that's your best advertising.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's
how can you
that's
do that
networking at its finest. That's building relationships is how we get more work, no matter what. What.
And how can you do that if you're too busy packing up to get out of there?
Yeah, you can't.
So
I've had that talk with my help before. Same talk.
Well,
because I get in trouble for running my mouth sometimes off to the side and getting chatty. Yeah. Well, getting chatty because I want more work.
Yeah. Well,
I like the people. If I don't like them, I don't want to work for them anyway. So there's that.
Right. Well, then everybody that works for me knows that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like if they come back and they're like, they don't complain because I'm like, once they complain, like, oh, look, well, how do you guys expect to get to the next job? It's like, I'm doing that so we can get more work. That's why we do it. And so then none of them want to do
being
it.
A good human. Yeah.
None of them want to do it. So, and I'm happy to do it. I want to go find out what's going on, find out about their league, and
see if there's anything we can help with. Absolutely. Yeah.
Even if there's nothing to sell from it, it's still fun to talk to them to see how their season. Like I always like, how the numbers doing, how y'all doing this season. I still want to know. I'm curious.
I always ask how they're doing. I always ask, how's it going this year? How are the games this year? What's happening? You guys pretty good this year? How many seniors you got?
Yeah.
Are you losing a bunch of people after this? What's going on? Yeah, I'm always asking those questions because I'm genuinely curious.
Interested. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because deep down, I'm a sports guy, right? I mean, I love sports. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care if it's T-ball, varsity football, or the NFL or the NBA. Like I want to know. I'm it's just in my blood. So
yeah, I think that's I'm the same way, and I love it. That's why I think I'm suited for this job because I love that stuff. And I take pride in being able to pick out the shortstop on the team. Like you're the shortstop.
Yeah, you just know.
Yeah, you just know. That kid just has a certain swagger about him.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see that photo that I posted yesterday?
I don't look at your stuff. No. Was it the girl with the bat?
So rude.
The
No. Let me see if
Bo Jackson pose, or the kid with the second season in a row with the game face.
Yes.
Yeah.
That kid is such a badass. I saw him. As soon as I saw him, I was like, your photo was so awesome last year. And they did it again this year. And he's literally like a little 7-year-old. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden he just puts that look on you. Hold on. Now that we're talking about it, got to pull it up. Let me see if I can find it.
I found it.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Did you share your screen?
Trying. This
Well,
one.
maybe I need to do the
How's this?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. There it is. Yep.
I wish there was a dislike.
That'd be perfect.
I already liked it. Oh, it counted.
Okay, Nicole is asking about how I photographed the team. We line them up.
Photograph
Line them up. Take them. I mean, you can. I mean, I even had a boot camper ask me if I even take team photos.
Well, we very rarely at your boot camps, we very rarely go over team photos. It just doesn't really happen.
Yeah, I mean, we do the team photos, but the thing is that's going to be a good thing for 2.0 too. We can go over some more of that, but it's just all about creating a good stack. There's only so much you can do when you have 87 teams in a day, and you have 12 kids and 3 coaches on average, or 10 kids and 3 coaches, whatever you want to call it. It's just going to be flat light towards them. It's just like, you just have to set them up, organized. I'm not going to set up every kid that looks to look like this guy here. And we do that some, on all-star teams. That's what we do. We set up the dugout style shot where everybody's kind of got some equipment turned different ways and cool angles and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but when you try and get too fancy with teams, for me, when I try to do that, I miss a kid. I get them in a shadow, or
right.
It's just, and then you're lighting them up in Lightroom after the fact, trying to make it look better. And
yes.
And sometimes we can be too extra, right? I mean, sometimes it's okay to just be vanilla and just set it up how it works and do it. And if that's flat light for a team, because that's what the best shadows are, and everybody's going to be in the photo, then, make sure your stacks look great, right? I think you do a good job of that. I don't even go that far. My stacks are pretty boring. They're still the old school ones, right? Crisscross one row, kneel the next, and stand the third, But
well,
I don't have all the benches. I've got to get some benches that won't tip over if kids stand on them. Yeah. I have the Amazon special, right, for the little rec league teams, but those GPS risers are really what a guy needs so that they're stable.
They're the best.
That you can stand kids on them and they're not going to get hurt. There's a safety issue involved in mine. So
yeah, those GPS risers are the best, and we've got a bunch of them. And it's the same thing as you go back to what we're talking about with action photography, right? The parents spend the money on the individual photos. You don't get that many. Like, there's a very small percentage of our orders are going to be team only. Very small, even with paper order forms, photo day. Very, very small percentage are going to be team only. And, especially with photo day, they're going to choose 4 different photos of their kid and then one team photo. So the money's made on the individual photo. So yes, your team's got to be good. You have to do a good job. It has to be well lit, all that stuff. But you concentrate. We put all our best talent on the individual photos. Yeah. But I tell you what, though, I have a girl that poses these teams. Oh man, she's good. She's gotten so good. Like, you just give her a number, she's got a stack just like that, and she stacks them up. It's fantastic. Fantastic. And she wants to learn individual photography, but I'm like, you're so good at the teams.
You don't want to lose her to that?
I know, because she's so good at the teams.
That's funny.
49 minutes.
Of talking about nothing. Hopefully somebody listens and watches.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe if you're still here. How's that?
Yes, we should say that.
We don't know why we say that yet because we don't know if it helps us or not. But
yeah,
everybody else says
eventually. It was fun. All right, well, I'm going to bed.
You should. It's late for you.
Yeah, it's late. That was
10:30. You're getting old.
10:30. Yep. And I
That's
had
your bedtime.
Yeah. 10.
Are you working out?
Tequila.
You gonna work out before you go to bed?
I did this morning at 8 a.m.
Yeah, I wasn't up yet.
I'm gonna call you next time. Get your ass up.
All right,
buddy.
Good
See
chat.
you next week.
Good to
All
see
right.
you. All right, bye.